Hey guys, my name's George. Today we're going to talk about some drum tuning techniques, and we're using this Tama SLP Kapoor kit, which is a pretty awesome sounding kit. Can't wait to get tuned up and hear it with some nice mics we got set up here. We're going to, at this point, we've already removed the drum heads, the old ones, put some new ones on, clean the edges. We're going to get started with just making sure that it's all finger tight around the shell. Each tension rod there. And then the next thing we want to do, I like to use two keys for this. Tama uses an excellent key that has a little knob on the top of it there that makes it even easier to get a real true finger tight on the drum. Go around there. There. And 4. Okay, so with drum tuning, the thing to keep in mind is that there's two heads. Each one will be tuned, or we're going to set equal tension around the whole drum. That's what we refer to a drum head being in tune. We're saying that there's equal tension from one tension rod to the next all the way around the drum. We'll do that to each side of the drum, and then we'll treat the relationship of those two drum heads to get the tone that we're after. So after we've got finger tight all the way around the drum, we're going to go ahead. You can do a clockwise pattern or a cross pattern. Either one works, but the key is working in really small passes. We don't want to do major turns on one tension rod and then go to the next one and do a major turn and then a major turn. Everything will start to drop down unbalanced if we're doing too many turns. And the key to making the drum head last a little longer is a nice even set onto the drum. So two keys are really helpful again for this. Go one on each side and do 1/2 a turn there. Then move in a clockwise here. 1/2 turn. Another one. 1/2 turn. 1/2 turn. So now we've got some tension on the drum. If you can hear, there's a little bit of cracking and popping going around in the drum. That's totally normal. That's on Remo heads, the glue popping. On Eva heads, sometimes you'll hear just the head itself stretching over the shell is going to cause some of that noise. But if you don't stretch the drum at this point, now there's a little bit on there, that's going to happen while you're playing, and it'll detune while you're playing, which is not convenient. So if we just push on the center of the drum there, give it a good shove. All that cracking will get done now. Now we can go with a little bit more tension on there, and it'll hold that tension a little longer. So again, another 1/2 turn. 2. 4. So there's tools that you could then use to actually measure all of the tension all around near each tension rod to make sure it is totally accurate. Things like the tune bot or the drum dial, they're awesome to make this way easier and take the guesswork out, because otherwise we'll go the old school way and tap around near each tension rod and listen to make sure that this one sounds like this one and it sounds like this one and they all sound equal. Once we have them all equal, this drum head is in tune. So now we do the same thing to the other side. Make sure it's all finger tight. Give it a little twist. And again, whatever I'm doing to one tension rod, I'm doing to all the rest of them to keep it nice and equal. If you don't have two drum keys, one works fine. Just keep track of where you've gone. Give it a good stretch. And we'll repeat that process. So now this drum head is in tune. The batter drum head is in tune. Now what we need to do is listen to both of them, tap on both of them to figure out what overall tone we want to achieve and how we need to address the relationship of the tension from one head to the other to figure out if we need to go with less resonance or more resonance. There's pretty much 3 things that you can do. The first one is getting The batter side that we're going to hit and the reso side, equal in tension. So again, devices like the drum dial make it really easy to take the guesswork out of this, and you just make sure that the same number on this side on all the tension rods is equal to this. That's going to give the drum maximum resonance. It's going to ring out the longest. The second thing that we can do is take the resonance side and drop it lower in pitch or less tension on the resonance side. It's going to give the note a bend downward as it decays. Really good for live playing. Projects outward really nicely. The third thing to do is to take this reso head and make it tighter than the batter head. That often gives you the least sustain on the drum. Us as drummers sitting behind the kit, it sounds the best because the tone is all projecting back towards us. Feels really good to play that way. That's most common. We'll see the drum tune that way. And it's not a big difference when we're doing unequal tensions. It's a very slight drop in pitch or raise in pitch to really get this effect. If you go dramatic, it's going to give you probably an undesired, weird sounding tone. But we can do this same thing to all of the drums, the kick drum, the toms. That kind of idea of adjusting the two heads, the one of 3 different ways, will work for all of the drums. The snare drum will treat a little bit differently, but let's switch over to another drum.